Hello everyone, today we'll be discussing Excel and how that can help you and be a tool for you in your chemistry courses, specifically how it relates to a lot of homework problems or experiments processing that data. So here we're just going to see some test data and just kind of learn how to use different formulas and just how to use Excel in its purest, simplest form, if you will. So here we're given X values, and you can see they range from 0.1 to 20, and we are just going to do these four functions, A, B, C, and D. So here, this is asking for the ln value of X. So instead of going and calculating each value on your calculator and then plugging it in, what you're actually going to do is you're going to tell Excel equals, and then ln of X. And you're going to click on X, press return or enter, and it will actually give you that value so you don't have to go and manually do it on your calculator each and every time. Now, you might be tempted to do the same exact thing to the next one, equals ln of X. However, that is going to take up a lot of time that you do not have. So what you're going to do is just click on the cell, go to the bottom right corner here where you see that thing, grab it and drag it all the way down. And now that auto-populates for all of these values. So here you can see, if you go up to what's actually occurring here, you can see it's asking for the ln of A9. And you can make sure that the formula is right, but it is right for all of these. So that is how you would do A in this. So that's all of the ln values of X for that. Now if we're trying to say X squared plus 4X minus 6, you're just going to do the same thing. You want Excel to do an equals function, so all of these you have to make sure it starts with equals. And then remember PEMDAS. I'm going to go parentheses crazy because you do not want Excel to get confused. So you can never add too many, but make sure you add them so you do the right order and they do the right things. So we are going to say X. You're going to do the little caret to go up for the exponent, X squared. I'm adding another parentheses. Whoopsies. I didn't like that. I'm adding another parentheses to show that it's just this that I want squared. Then we're going to say plus, and then I'm going to add another parentheses just because I always add a lot just to be safe. 4 times X again, and then we're going to go minus 6. So if you see here in the bar, we have A3, which is this value, squared, plus 4 times A3 minus 6. And again, we're going to press enter. It's going to populate with all of the values that we want. And again, we're just going to drag this guy down all the way, and that will fill in all of these values. And again, let's check to the bottom to make sure that we're okay. And if you click up here in the formula tab, things become colored, so that's helpful. Like you can see the blue correlates with the blue, so you can just double check. But you can make sure that it's actually this X squared value plus 4 times, again, this X value minus 6. So that all worked out nice. Now we will do e to the negative exponent, and then it's going to be x divided by r times t. So here in this problem, we were already given the r and the t value, so that's very helpful. We're going to need that. The r value is on your equation sheet, so that's how I found that, and then t was given. So what we're going to do here is e in Excel is actually going to be exponent. Okay, so that's what it means. Also, if you're ever not sure in Excel, like this one could be a little tricky, you might just want to say E. If you're ever not sure what function to use, just Google it. If you're trying to find the sum or the average and it's not coming up with what you thought it would be, just Google it and Google will tell you. So here it's exponent. And then, you know, we love our parentheses, so we're going to add a lot here. I might need to add more, but we're going to say it's all to the negative, so we're adding a negative. And then it is going to be the X value. And then we are going to be, it went away, but it's divided by R. So we're going to just go and grab this. This is constant. And then times T. Now with these, because these are constants, well, I guess I'll show you that in a second. Okay, so we take that and it gives us those values. But because R and T are constant, if we drag this down, look at that, error codes, because it's trying to grab on the next ones below it. So when things are constant in your Excel, you have to put dollar signs around the row and the column. So we're going to add a dollar sign around the H and a dollar sign around the 1 and a $sign around the H and a $sign around the 2. And that is going to say we just want this cell every time. So now if we press enter, and then if we drag this guy down, also instead of dragging down, you could just double click on that and it does the same thing, just FYI. So now we can see here that it took this value. So if you look here, it was the exponent of the negative, and then we took the x value divided by this r value. You can see it's red, so perfect, it didn't mess that up, times the t value. So that all worked perfectly, but make sure if it's a constant, you add those $signs if you're pulling it down. Otherwise, it'll grab numbers that don't exist or wrong numbers. So next up, we are doing the square root function. So we're saying 2 times 10 to the negative 18 divided by x. So what we are going to do here, again, start with your equal sign, gotta love it. And this is the square root function. So we're gonna take the square root of 2 times, and in Excel, you can't do a x for times. It has to be the star because x could be a variable. So always do the star. So 2 times 10, what we're going to do here is 10 to the negative 18th. And I just love adding parentheses. I probably add too many, but I love it. Okay, whoopsies. I lost track of my thing. And then that is, oh my goodness, we're all messed up now. I'm just checking my parentheses. And then that is all divided by x. And then we'll go ahead and grab that and make sure that the parentheses are all under the square root because we want to make sure this x is still under the square root. Then we'll press enter. And now I'm going to do that double click thing I showed you before. Double click there instead of just dragging it down. And that double click will go down until you have things stopped written here. So because we have something written here, that's why it went all the way down. But if there was nothing there, it would have just gone to row 27, just FYI. Or, yes. I'm just going to delete this. Okay, so perfect. So we just filled in all of those so you can kind of see how different operations work in Excel. And now another operation we are going to do is take the average of these. So for the average, we are going to say equals AVG for average, parentheses, and we are going to just drag and hold. So I clicked and hold, and I'm dragging the whole way, and press enter. Oh, it's actually you spell out average, my mistake. So we take that average, and again, like I said, you can drag down from the right and bring down for these vertical columns, but you can do the exact same thing for horizontal if it's the same function. So here we're just going to drag this bottom right all the way over for what we want. And here you can see that now it's taking the average of this, which is what we want for these, right? Because we want the average of B. And here we want the average of C. So the clicking on the bottom right and dragging is super, super crucial. And honestly, for some of your experiments, it would literally be impossible not to know that. So just make sure that you know that you can do that vertically and horizontally, but make sure that you understand how it works and why. It's just saying that you're going to continue this function in the next row or whatever direction that you're going. So thank you for watching. And that is the basics of how to use Excel for basic operations in Excel with your chemistry courses.